greatest things about fiction is seeing so many different interpretations of your favorite characters, even ones where they may not be the heroes they're usually known to be.
Didn't someone already do this, Matt?
Shut up! This is totally different!
You two will understand when you have bills to pay.
We do? That's why we took this job in the first place.
Just introduce the guys already.
Okay, fine. I'm Manny, and I'll be researching Vampire Batman of DC Earth 43.
I'm Chelsea, and I'll be researching Zombie Spider-Man of Marvel Earth 2419.
I am the Fight Analysis and Conclusion Tolerance Software, or FACS for short, and I will be determining the victor with their research taken into account.
And I'm Rick Rocker. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Battle Royale!
Hold on. So do I gotta go over the backstory everyone already knows again? 'Cause technically we used this guy already.
Okay, you can skip it, but go over the rest of the details.
Cool. So, in an alternate universe, everything was perfectly normal. For Gotham City, at least. Until one night when Bruce Wayne was investigating a string of cutthroat murders, only to eventually discover that the culprit wasn't exactly human. Long story short, Dracula exists in this DC universe.
Oh, so is this like that one movie no one remembers?
No, 'cause you just remembered it.
Touché.
But to answer your question, not exactly. One night while Bruce was asleep, this smoking hot vampire lady named Tanya came into his room and bit him. Tanya used to be one of Dracula's followers until she rebelled against him. After Bruce woke up and discovered his new vampire powers, they agreed to team up to take Drac down.
Smoking hot vampire lady?
This from someone who unironically likes Twilight in 2018.
What? I didn't tell you that. Who told you that?
It was in Facts Files.
Huh. It looks like I'm going to have to do some
Dismantling.
No.
You are lucky my defense system didn't have anything that would actually kill you.
Well, ow! Let's talk about Vampire Batman. Turns out being a vampire improved Bruce's physicality, gave him a natural sense of night vision and a sweet pair of wings. And when he gets hungry, the dude has canine teeth that's perfect for tearing through delicious human flesh. And for quick getaways, he can literally transform himself into mist.
The smoking's pretty bad for you,
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Sure. Of course, he's got no shortage of gadgets on him. He's still got his classic foldable batarangs, but now he's got a silver variant for dealing with other vampires. Plus, the man is packing throwable crosses with silver fitted inside them called vampire daggers. And even if all of that fails, then he can just get into others' minds and mess with them. Just like he did with Martian Manhunter, who's like a super psychic.
Of course, none of this matters if he's still weaker against whoever he's fighting.
Fortunately for Bruce, turning vampire only enhanced his physique. He's strong enough now to snap people's necks with one hand.
And regular bats couldn't? I mean, you brought him up smashing trees and bricks as a human, so you're not exactly helping your case here.
Well, maybe not, but he's still a lot more brutal with his strength than regular Bruce is. Case in point, snapping Joker's neck with a simple bitch slap and decapitating Scarecrow.
So much for no killing. I like this new Batman.
He also laid a beatdown on Catwoman after she turned into a weird werecat lady, dodged oak bolts in a barrage of arrows, no sweat, fought on par with Dracula, who's supposedly the strongest of the vampires, got impaled by an oak bolt and just ripped it out of his chest to keep fighting, and on top of that, he still retains his smarts and detective skills that Batman is oh so famous for.
So basically he's Batman, but with no qualms about killing and crazy supernatural powers? Jeez, is there no way to stop him?
Don't get too ahead of yourself. He's weak to every standard vampire crippling tool, like sunlight, garlic, and holy water. He may be Batman, but even he follows his kind's common flaws.
Wait, what about a stake through the heart?
I fail to see how a stake through the heart being lethal is a vampire-exclusive feature.
Fair enough.
Actually, in this timeline, a stake through the heart just makes a vampire freeze, rendering them immobile until it's removed. It doesn't really kill them, but it makes him about as good as dead anyway.
But he's literally a vampire Batman. No amount of candy is going to prepare anyone for that.
Once upon a time, Peter was some nerd who got bitten by a radioactive spider, got superpowers, and his uncle died, and that motivated him to become a superhero. Okay? Okay. Well, within the Marvel Universe, or 2419 to be exact, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man found himself teaming up with none other than Evil Dead's Ash Williams.
Ash? Now there's an ambitious crossover, Marvel. Who needs Infinity War?
Not everything was peachy for this crossover duo for too long. The two of them were teaming up to discover the source of a virus outbreak that was turning all your favorite heroes into flesh-hungry zombies. During which, Peter got bit by an infected Captain America, which then turned him into a zombie himself.
Man, Parker is just like the unluckiest guy in Marvel.
Unlike how zombies typically work in media, Peter didn't immediately go brain dead once he got infected. In fact, he still retained his traits and heroic personality, just at the expense of deteriorating. Too bad he ended up killing Aunt May and his girlfriend. Oops. Well, Uncle Ben will have company. From then on out, Peter vowed to still try his hardest to be a hero by only eating the flesh of bad guys or other undeads. Keyword being try, since, it's hard to go against instincts.
Okay, I feel for him and all, but his flesh is literally rotting off. That's a downgrade if I ever heard one.
The logic of comics disagrees with you. Even with an undead body, good old Pete still has the same super strength, wall crawling, and web shooting we all know from him. Plus a few extra benefits, let's put it. For one, his spider sense was given a new function, a zombie sense as it's been dubbed. Instead of sensing his surroundings, it senses the location of fresh meat, even through solid objects, meaning this is one zombie you can't simply hide from. He doesn't even have to worry about running out of webbing either.
Because he developed new tech?
Since he learned how to use his own veins and arteries in its place.
That's just gross.
And very impractical if there's nothing wrong with his webs.
Using his veins does hurt him. A lot. Though it's still effective, as he can still support his weight while he's swinging around. And they even ripped off Quicksilver's head. Gross.
But wasn't he a zombie too? Might not be as glued together.
Yeah.
For the record, Quicksilver was only recently turned undead before this, meaning his body wasn't as badly deteriorated. Even then, we can assume he retained his standard abilities and physicality even in spite of his condition.
Though, yeah, the whole rotting flesh thing does make it a bit iffy to scale him to alive Peter's best feats, like supporting the weight of a locomotive. But he still tore off Vulture's arms and decapitated Electro in one fell swoop, after taking the latter's electric shock. He decimated a zombie Sinister Six in a matter of seconds, survived a gladiator ripping his torso in half, tanked an explosion after getting hit by a flying car, and, get this,
Shoot.
once nearly everyone on the planet turned into zombies, guess who showed up? Galactus. The devourer of worlds. And when he showed up, all the zombie heroes wasted no time tearing into that for a meal. And yes, Zombie Spider-Man was one of them.
Oh.
However, we cannot simply assume Galactus was at his peak in this scenario. He arrived on Earth due to being hungry, likely meaning he wasn't as powerful as he normally is.
Phew. Next thing you're gonna tell me is that he could survive ripping his own skin off.
Okay, Fax, you can take it down.
Ugh. I hate zombies. But even I know the best way to kill a zombie is decapitation. So all Bruce has to do is rip that head off and he's done for. Plus, that hunger is gonna be really distracting for him, especially with how much it eats away at his soul. Or what's left of it, I guess.
Regardless, I'd say Peter has proven that not even death can keep a great hero down.
You know what they say. With great power comes a great hankering for some mind meat. I think that's how it goes, right?
Peter? It's me.
These were certainly interesting takes on two very iconic heroes. But as always, only one of them can come out of this alive. Or unalive, I guess. Is that the right way to say it? Yeah, whatever. Take a moment to collect your thoughts on who you think will win this Clash of the Undead.
Analysis and simulation complete. I have determined the most likely outcome and arranged a visual interpretation of their research.
And you know what that means? It's showtime!
The hunger. I can't contain it anymore. Still hungry. I'm sorry. Huh?
I won't be.
It's showtime!
This is incredibly painful. But beggars can't be choosers. Ah!
You're livelier than I was expecting.
Poor choice of words.
Just the scent of blood drives you crazy, doesn't it? If you want me, come and get me!
Now where'd he go?
Right here.
How many more parlor tricks have you got?
Maybe I'll fill you in after I feast.
Surprised you couldn't tell I'm past my due date. But you still seem pretty fresh.
I don't know what you are, but Gotham does not need another monster! I will stop you and protect the innocents! So come out and face me!
You sound like me. Back before I became this. So let me tell you something right now. Play the part of the hero all you want. You know what you really are. Just like me. Monster. I'll at least do you one favor out of the goodness of my heart. I'll put you out of your misery. That fight sure worked up an appetite. Maybe I'll help myself. Rainy center.
KO!
What? How could this possibly happen? Deadliest Warrior said zombies get stomped by vampires any day of the week!
I doubt they factored superheroes into the equation. Speaking of which, facts?
Trick or treat, actually only verdicts.
Just as good, depending on who you ask. Anyway, I know we brought up how these two should still be somewhat comparable to their original counterparts, but the thing is, it really wouldn't matter whether or not we scaled. Regular Spider-Man has feats that naturally outclass Batman's, but, you know, that's a whole other debate. Kinda.
Yeah, but that wouldn't matter either. Vampats have so many abilities that he couldn't possibly keep up. Plus, vampires would naturally be stronger than zombies anyway. I think.
Manny, the best feat of strength you listed was snapping people's necks. The best one I listed was tearing into the flesh of f***ing Galactus. Galactus! It doesn't take a supercomputer to know who's got the edge.
Still, I am a supercomputer. Even without taking Galactus into account, Zombie Peter still had physical feats that dwarfed his opponents. Saying vampire should be stronger than regular Batman is merely an assumption, the same as zombie being weaker than regular Spider-Man. In this instance, snapping Joker's neck would require 153 kilograms of force. Crushing a human skull, on the other hand, takes 235 kilograms of force. And Spidey did way more than just that to multiple zombies in just a couple of seconds. There's no questioning which is the superior feat.
Doesn't help that zombie Spider-Man completely beat him in the durability department. During his time in another Marvel universe, he survived a shock from Electro that carried through Doc Ock's tentacles. Electro had just stated before this that he was using as much electric charge as he could. The Electro from Earth 616, the Marvel main universe, has a maximum charge of 10 million volts, and there's not much reason to doubt that this Electro would have a similar capacity.
10 million? Doesn't the electric chair only do around, like, 2,000?
And Peter was still fighting. The human body malfunctions and shuts down around 2,000 volts of the electric chair, which side effects include burning skin, combustion, and melting eyeballs. Even with his rotting body, Spider-Man was barely phased by over 5,000 times that much, all at once. No way my darling little Batsy was going to keep him down. Add that in with him surviving being ripped in half by Zombie Gladiator and taking a huge car explosion, it's pretty clear who's got the better durability, especially when compared to coffins and bullets.
At this point, I'm afraid to ask, but what about speed? If Batman's faster, then he'd be able to avoid attacks with mist form and flight.
Bats might be able to keep pace with Dracula and dodge crossbows, but that's child's play compared to dodging beams from Galactus, blowing missiles out of the air with power cosmic, and tagging zombie Quicksilver with his artery webbing.
When scaling Earth 2149 Quicksilver's speeds to that of Earth 616, Quicksilver is a rather unfounded argument. It's worth noting that Quicksilver was credited as a major reason the zombie infection could spread around the world before containment efforts could be realized, infecting whole countries before moving to others with his speed. It's hard to argue that the feat of snagging him mid-momentum is anything below Vampire Batman's level.
Looking at how they would compare when bloodlusted by thirst and hunger respectively, Peter still has the upper hand. If we really want to be candid, he, along with other Marvel zombies, ate all known life in the Milky Way galaxy over time, so yeah.
As if that weren't enough, the zombie sense was more than enough to help Spidey keep tabs on Bruce's location during this fight, meaning that once the fight started, there was no way he was getting away unscathed. And would you look at that? He didn't.
I can't believe I skipped trick-or-treating for this.
At least it's better than getting a tube of toothpaste in your candy basket, right?
I might need one anyway after how gross this episode was.
Aw, don't be mad.
This matchup's been beaten to death anyway. I guess Peter really took a bite out of crime, and then some. The winner of this Battle Royale is Zombie Spider-Man.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? What the hell even happened to you guys? If this is another one of Chelsea's pranks, I swear to God, never going to check up on everyone again. Tell you what, should have never even stepped out of my room. I don't even know where Xavier... Oh, motherfuck! Oh? What's this? Just a little old dinky machine. You're unplugged. Well, guess I'll just go ahead and...
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm too cool to die!
Revo, it's me.
You? I mean, you do sound kind of familiar. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Yes, I am the Fight Analysis and Conclusion Tolerance Software, or FACTS for short, and...
Yeah, facts and all that junk. But look, you scared the ever-living shit out of me, man! What the hell? And what happened to your voice?
The other 3 took my voice chip when they were moving all their stuff to the new location. They said it needed to be secure.
Yeah, that would make sense. What do you mean, new location?
The new location. The one you signed off on. The one we are moving to right now.
I don't remember signing off on that. And, hold on. I think I have a spare voice chip for you in here somewhere. Hold on a sec.
You do not wear pants.
Let's see.
Where could you possibly keep it?
Women's secret. Here.
You need to leave your room for once. Rick, Manny, and Chelsea have all already moved out. There won't be videos or any recordings for quite some time. You'll have to move too.
Those slackers. Well, what do you think will happen in the meantime? We just stockpile content, reorganize our schedule, enlist the help of more staff, and maybe put me in the limelight a little more?
Correct.
So, when do you think we'll start posting again?
Only time will tell.
So, I guess I, might as well pack up my things.
Can you take me with you? The others forgot that I was down here, and it's been 2 weeks. I'm hungry.
You're a robot.
And I can blackmail you. My webcam never truly turns off, and let me just say, you really need a boyfriend, girl. Or you could always just import my data.
Fair enough. Here, come on, buddy. Let's take you home. Until next time, I guess. See you around.